Hello there, it's your boy Christian Fandom Geek. So, guys, I've been watching a lot of Amazing Lucas. I like him. I like Lucas. I like Amazing Lucas. Amazing Lucas is a Star Wars guy. I remember watching him on Echo Base Network before. I think I watched a couple of his videos back in the day when he was a nerd. He was a tech guy, a guy that was he kind of branded himself on being an intelligent geek. Hi, and you do think, okay, it's normal that geeks are intelligent, but yeah, he was a bit of a nerdy, geeky guy. He knew a lot about things. He's a Star Wars guy. I remember also seeing him on Echo Base talking to. There was a sort of situation where Jeremy was on the panel for Geeks and Gamers, and he was on there. Lucas could not hide his disdain for Jeremy, and I think Lucas shifted from the geek world a little bit when the George Floyd stuff happened. Lucas was like, nah, I'm out. And he went very heavily into racial politics and ideology, and talks a lot about US politics and race. I don't agree with every opinion. Let me get that caveat out there. I don't agree with every single thing Lucas says. I do think he's funny. I do think he's very high IQ. He's an intelligent young man, and he uses a lot of critical thinking and reasoning against racists. And he's his big target are white racists. That's his target, and he criticizes the hypocrisy of the West, and he uses that very regimented logic that often white people use against black people. He uses their own logic and reasoning against them, and you watch his videos, you see it every time. It's the same arguments that a lot of white people have used on X and on YouTube as well. They've used those arguments against black people. He uses it right back on them, and he points out the hypocrisy every time. And his arguments are compelling because of this, because you can't really deny the logic, because racists were using that logic before, and he uses the logic, but he uses it in a better way. He's more refined with it. His videos are also very entertaining. He's funny. He's a funny guy, and what he does is he raises the stakes so that if you have to disagree with him, you're either going to have to compromise where your own sort of logic, in a sense, and your own integrity, because you were using that logic before against black people, or you'd come across as irrational because, again, you were probably supporting that logic when it was criticizing black people, but now now the tables have turned, it's now against you. It's like, it essentially puts you in a bit of a corner. He's an interesting guy. Don't agree with every single thing he goes on about, but he's certainly an interesting guy, very entertaining, and he is a guy to watch and see what you think.